liked my first video. Oh, my bad, I'm being exclusional. Hello world. Yeah, I know, it's a little vain. But anyway, y'all liked my first video on the MG34. I got something in the shop today. Look, that's my phone. I got something in the shop today I figure y'all would like. First off, Sound of Silence. I listened, no tunes today. Kind of breaks my heart y'all didn't like them, but yeah, it is what it is. Alright, what we got in today is basically MK760, which is a Port Said, which is a Smith & Wesson 76, which is a Swedish K. They're all essentially the same gun. The MK760 is what we're going to be focusing on because that's what we have. You'll notice it's all apart. Because to be honest with you, to get it apart is a little bit of a pain. And it's only one pin, but in this case it's a real tight pin, so I pre-disassembled it. Okay, let's start off with the bolt. The bolt is what makes this gun. This is an open bolt gun, meaning it fires when you squeeze the trigger, the bolt's back, bolt comes forward, it fires, comes back, you let off the trigger, the bolt's going to stay in the rearward position as long as there's ammo. If there's no ammo, your bolt's going to end up in the closed position. Let me show you something. I'm guessing y'all can see it right there, that firing pin. It's always out. It's always protruding. It never retracts back. It's a fixed firing pin. So what happens, your round is right here. This is my little finger being the round. It strips it from the mag, comes up, it inserts in the feed lips, hits the barrel, the 9mm in this case, but they all work the same. The 9mm, the shoulder of the round hits, and we'll call it the shoulder in the barrel. This thing, the bolt, smashes against that, hits the firing pin, bang, poof, there you go. Cycles repeated. It's a recoil operated system. Comes back, blah 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 blah. Actually, my bad. Pew 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 pew. That's what it sounds like. Your sear surface on the bolt couldn't be more simplistic. That's it. It's just a little notch taken out of the bolt, and your sear sits up like this and hooks into it like that. When it's fired, squeeze the trigger, sear comes down, bang. So that's all that is. When you let off the trigger, sear comes back up, it's going to glide along it and catch that sear, and your bolt's going to be held back. Extractor right there in the middle. No, it's not quite in the middle, it's pretty close to the middle. Alright, your recoil system. There it is. It's a spring. That's all it is, just a big ass spring. There's nothing fancy about that. We're kind of doing polar opposites. The MG34 was probably the most complicated of machine guns. This one's, it's a straight up blowback, simple design, simple to operate. This is the gun, the heart of the gun. This is the receiver, ejection port, mag port. Don't know how well y'all can see it, but right in there, right there, is the ejector. It's actually welded in place. It's just a little plate that drives along in this little path right here, and the ejector, as the bolt comes back, the ejector rides that, hits the round, forces it that way out the ejection slot. And there's really not much to this. There's your trigger. So pew 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 pew. This one actually is kind of different, like your MP40s, your Sten. Well, actually Stens have one too, but this one's a little different from some of your just straight up blowbacks, in that it has semi. Actually, now that I think about it, it's not really that different. It's semi. Ooh, who really cares? Bang, bang, bang. We're here to talk about full, which this one is. Here's your charging handle. Yep, that's it. So let's put this thing together right quick. Bolt goes in the, let's see, there you go. Bolt goes in the receiver up to the point of where you put the charging handle in. Charging handle goes in. You see right now it's caught on the sear. Watch what happens when I squeeze the trigger. Ooh. Recoil spring goes in. As I said, this one is a little tighter than some of them. It's It's not been used much. Some of the guns that get used a lot are really hard, are really easy to put together just because they've been taken apart, putting together a lot. This one hasn't been used as much, so it's a little more difficult, but it's still kind of easy. So that's it. It's together. I'll dry fire it once for y'all. As you can see, the bolt's back. You see where the bolt is in there? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Well, it's right here. That's where the face of the bolt is. You squeeze the trigger, comes back with, or goes forward with some considerable force. Strips the round, puts the round in the barrel, and fires the round. After it fires, comes back. As long as you got your finger on the trigger, you got ammo. It's just gonna go or pew 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 is a technical term. That is it. As I said, you know this gun. Now you know like 4 different guns: the Swedish K, Port Said, MK760, Smith & W76. They're all the same. I will show you one thing that's kind of cool though. Let's put on safe since our bolt's back. Suppose I don't know, want to put a can on it, you know, silencer or something they call it. Squeeze this down, unscrew that. Here's my barrel. Yep, that's all there is to it. I guess in theory, and this would be kind of funny, but I wouldn't want to do it. You can take all this crap off, load up a full magazine, and shoulder it up, and start to fire, and your bullets would just go unfired. But again, I wouldn't want to test that, and I don't recommend y'all do it either. This is a children's show after all, and I don't want to see anybody trying that. So, put this back on. There we go. Our barrel's good to go. Pop it back on. You know, let's be different. We'll pop it on semi. So that's it, guys. That's our class for today on the MK760. Glad y'all liked it.